So when I was working at the prison, there was this whole thing about the prisoners would build a relationship and respect one or two people in particular. I was out there working the floor, putting people in and out of their cells, running a whole level of the cell house with like 52 inmates. There's three tiers, right? A ton of people. They build rapport with one or two respectable people who are consistent. And that was me. I was like, I care about what you care about, but security comes first. So you have to help me accomplish security, and then I will help you accomplish whatever it is that you need to accomplish as long as it's within the rules, right? And so I built a reputation for that, and people knew they could rely on me for my word. So when they would receive an order from another officer, they didn't want to obey it, and they'd come to me and complain. And that's like, no, we're not playing the mom and dad thing. Whoever gave you the order, you got to follow that because that's how it goes, right? So I had to focus on reinforcing somebody else's, not usurping their authority by repeating the order from me, but pointing back to the person who gave the order and saying, I can't say anything about it, right? So the same thing in here, if you guys give an answer and I know that you gave it and it's the right answer, I'm going to say, what did Amanda say? I'm not gonna repeat what Amanda said so that therefore it comes from me. It's like a really subtle override of Amanda for me to say the same thing. But if it comes from me and it's the same thing Amanda said, then Amanda gets no credit for saying it. I get credit for saying it. You see how that the difference there? Where
Yeah.
instead I can say, didn't Amanda already give you the answer? Well, yeah, but then Amanda gave you the answer. I've trained
Kind of like,
I've trained all
well,
these
did
people. They
you?
know what they're doing. And that would be like somebody saying to Pace, hey, Caleb told me that this and this and this. And instead of him saying, yeah, and this is why, and this is blah, 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 because then now the answer comes from him. The difference would be if somebody said, Caleb said this and this and this. Yeah. And well, I'm just wondering. And his answer instead would be, I trust Caleb. Not, yes, he's right because there, do you see there's a subtle difference between saying, yes, he's right because of this. Now it's that person being the authority and not delegating. They're continuing to be the authority, and any previous any other people who've had the same answer get zero credit because the authority is the one who reaffirms and gives the answer instead of reinforcing the authority of the people that they've trained by saying, I trust that person. It's really hard to separate saying I trust that person from I trust them and here's why. It's really tough. But it's one of those subtle differences in building a team and getting people to not always come straight to the person at the top. Even if
Okay.
the answer is like 90% correct, it's if you add anything to it, if I add anything to the answer, then the whole thing is a waste. All the time that they spent with you. So I want to make sure that I reinforce that as people come to you with questions, and I'm gonna start pointing people to the team, just like I did with Michael. Right? He's taking consults, he's answering questions, and Michael, when you give an answer, I'm going to reinforce and say I trust Michael. He's got good judgment. Somebody asks a question to Sarah, I trust Sarah's judgment implicitly. She knows when to come to me. So if you guys have an internal question at Creative TC or an operations question, take it to Sarah. I trust what she has to say, and I trust that she knows when to talk to me.